Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Abstract Podcast. This will be known as the first installment. And today we got me, who is A Space. We got Amos. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi.
And then, of course, how could we forget, the little runt of the group? We got Give and Ant. Would you like to...
Some would say.
Yeah.
This is a bad way to start the podcast.
Besides, Amos giving you the introduction, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, Ant? Because you don't have to let everyone else work for you, all right?
I am Give and Ant. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah, we have come here today to talk about some art topics in the community today. And of course, it wouldn't be an art commentary podcast if we didn't talk about Synnibear 03.
I love Synnibear.
I'm kind of
more like Groom Neo 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's in all of our recordings. Fuck, dude. This guy bombed the episode.
I'm clipping that just to post it on Twitter. Guilty know that.
Now, obviously, the only people that are obviously going to be interested in this situation is either people who are under a rock or, just people that just love hearing the same story for the 50th time. And you know what? I'm going to appeal to both of you. So obviously, we had the Synnibear situation, which all started all the way back with a very interesting individual named Birdie. Now, I'm sure you guys know about Birdie, but Birdie made this video called I just found out my roommate's a groomer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they make that video, they have an interview, and Synny concedes to grooming at the time and makes a video apologizing for being a groomer, which, amazing stuff, dude. Amazing stuff. And tell me, what do you think about this? Since you covered it a little bit.
Birdie is a little bit of a special person.
Yeah, no one actually fucking
awful.
asked. Holy fuck.
You
dude.
literally asked me. You better not take that out, Amos. I swear.
It was like, finally, I'm not the punching bag.
I'm always a punching bag. Truth, dude.
Anyway,
but yeah,
So the one thing you didn't say was obviously Birdie alleged sexual assault allegations also in the video.
Of course.
Which is very interesting because when you actually dig into it, it's not as cut as dry as what's actually being portrayed in their video, which is pretty interesting.
You see, Amos is going to be like the little cuck that points his finger in the air. He's like, I covered a video recently, so it's still fresh in my mind. But yeah, see, I think like the whole essay thing was interesting because for some reason Birdie framed it like, yeah, ever since I saw Synny, groom a kid, it really made me rethink all the times he touched me consensually.
Yeah, which is literally like reframing the entire interaction.
I remember that. I remember while listening to it, I was like, I remember when they touched me consensually, and I don't like it now. I was like, okay, but...
Okay, well, hold on. I will not stand for misinformation on the Abstract Podcast. Okay. To be very clear, Mr. Ant, because, of course, you don't know the situation, apparently. Okay.
I don't remember. It was months ago. I don't think about this stuff.
Okay, it was months ago. I don't know what happened. Okay,
all right, I don't think about Birdie.
Oh, no, bro.
Oh, no, go.
Okay, so there were a lot of times where it was consensual, and they don't necessarily deny that. What they do deny is that they try to claim that, there were times where there wasn't consensual, which is very interesting because I think either the same day or a day after Sophie and Nico released the video, where there's actually DMs where they say, yeah, there were some times where I didn't give consent, but it was on accident. So it's very interesting going from those DMs to then her video where she doesn't say it's on accident from what I remember, and she frames it as malicious and says it's sexual assault, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like we could, actually segue into a little bit of a debate with this too, because actually, do you think that Birdie was sexually assaulted by Synny? Amos, so I'll ask you that first. I know it's hard to say.
So
I want your raw thoughts.
So from all the information that's been provided, and obviously all the context, there's literally nothing I can point to conclusively say that it was sexual assault or that it was an actual sexual assault that actually took place. From what I see personally, right? Because obviously I can't claim that there might be of other times that was sexual assault, because obviously we can't say that Synny can prove a negative. And obviously it's all innocent until proven guilty. So we can't just sit here and say, well, everything that's been presented didn't happen. But I will say, that there's might be like different scenarios or whatever. It's retarded.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like there's definitely like a little bit of like interesting ways to go off of this too, because Cinny, I think in their own response video, they conceded to potentially 2 times they accidentally touched them in the crotch or something like that.
Yeah,
I remember that. And that made me laugh when I was listening to it.
Yeah, which are I think the 2 scenarios that they claim as sexual assault.
Right. And I feel like also like with Birdie's framing of it, because if you guys remember that one tweet, because like you mentioned the Sof the Neko DMs earlier, which is like a good, like, I want that in the back of your guys' brain too. Because like, while you have that in the back of your brain, there was that one tweet they made in response to someone just saying, stop talking about them. Yeah, how about you get sexually assaulted for a year straight and then come down and you cut them off? And it's like, it's a very different way in framing. So I guess in Birdie's words, it would be way more than 2 times, but I guess they're going off the logic of like presenting consent though, right? Like, which I don't know. I guess it's a little bit of a hot take, but I don't think you could resent consent. Like,
no, you can't.
No, you can't. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
It is.
Well, it's a hot take in this community.
This community is also like really special, so I mean that's not really saying much.
Like, it is literally insane to claim that it's perfectly fine to like have consensual sex for like months on end. And then like 3 years later, like actually raped me every single time, even though I gave consent.
Oh, exactly.
It's like, no, that's not rape then. You just had sex and you regretted it.
Yeah, because it's like, I also like saw some defenses being like, well, Birdie just didn't know that they were a victim at the time, and now they're realizing it, which it's like, I don't know. They're like a grown adult. They gave consent at the time of the situation. They see nothing wrong with it. But somehow, when it came to them grooming a child, they just regretted it. I don't think you could resent consent. I think you could regret it, right? Because it's like, oh shit, the person I was with just groomed a kid. But it's like, well, I say with very loosely.
Birdie's whole argument for that is they're very not social, so they claim that they've never had an IRL friend before. So that means that they wouldn't know what type of touching is and isn't okay, which is like completely fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
Which, mind you, they've literally talked about sexual mistreatment. They've made allegations against people saying that they were groomed. So I think it's literally insane to say they don't know what type of touching is and isn't okay. Like, that's just insane.
Well, even with that aside, like, you can't tell what makes you uncomfortable as a grown adult.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that whole statement is just framing Birdie as she has no agency on her body, which is like fucking insane.
Dude, I mean, maybe if Birdie was like a middle schooler, I could give him that. I would give him the leeway of this. But like, they're a grown adult here. It's so fucking weird. Like, it seemed, I don't know. This like is probably not going to sit well with some people, but it just came off like very convenient in the moment. You might not disagree with it, but like it came off really convenient in the moment to be like, I'm a victim, as soon as like there's like a grooming victim out there.
Actually, I don't know if we're gonna get to it in this, but have you watched the call that Chris and Ark watched, where like they were like plotting against Sunny or whatever?
No.
Yeah. Well, I watched that back in November. Yes. If you want to like enlighten Ant a bit, you can.
I don't know what that is. Maybe I do.
So. And correct me if I'm wrong, that call was like months before the actual allegations came out, right, Ace? Or was it before? Or was it after?
I think, okay, so it had to be somewhere around, it would have to be after, I think, because this was when the whole Birdie group chat was made, around September 18th.
Okay. Well, regardless, so all of the info, in my opinion, points to Birdie just threw the sexual assault allegation out there because they obviously thought that they had a grooming case there. So I think, one, they think nobody would question the sexual assault case because they're in the animation meme community. And then the second thing is obviously they're like extremely mad at this person. And if, again, we can go to the Sof the Neko DMs, they're saying that's on accident, but now in their video, they're being very malicious with this framing and the allegation because they obviously hate Synnibear and they want to fucking get out. And I also think they also wanted to use it potentially. Maybe they're not this smart as a reason to do the GoFundMe.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? We can talk about that. I know like our main things on City right now, but just because we're on it right now, just in the segue, do you think the GoFundMe was a scam, Amos?
Yes, 100%.
I also agree. Yeah.
Because,
I guess we all agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jesus, I'm slurring my words. The sexual assault claim, in my opinion, is false, right? So that takes away a huge chunk of why the GoFundMe should be a thing. 2, they weren't actually groomed. Okay, they weren't the grooming victim, so that's like another layer off. And then we actually sit here and like, okay, so we have Birdie here who wasn't actually sexually assaulted that we know of, all that info that's been provided. 2, they weren't actually a grooming victim, they just live with the groomer. So then it's like, you're not actually in any harm whatsoever. This is like the equivalent to like living with somebody you don't like. Like I don't think you need $10,000.
Well, I think on a bigger scale, yes,
like.
but yeah, I think on a bigger scale of something that you don't like, sure, but but honestly, like I don't even know why they needed the 10K, because like if you've been keeping watch, I don't know if you have the Amos. They've literally just been like living in like each of their friends' houses.
Yeah.
And it's like they've been like getting fully taken care of and like barely touching that money unless it's for like My Little Pony products and Grubhub.
That's actually a good segue, because there was like allegations that like they spent the GoFundMe on My Little Pony, which I don't know a lot about legality, but can that potentially be fraud?
Well, okay. Do you want to know? I feel like it's definitely like a scam because that's not something that you need to use. However, did you see the PR that like that one like who's like using the BR like Birdie account right now? It was like trying to use for defending like that whole thing. Did you see that or no?
Yeah,
did you see that argument?
I mean, I saw taglines. I didn't actually read the screenshots.
So you want to know the argument that they try to make that it wasn't scamming?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, you see, okay, so they say, well, they didn't touch the GoFundMe money. You see, Birdie makes money from commissions, so they use the commission money in order to buy the My Little Pony and Grubhub. Which it's like I don't know if like that's like true or not. Because it's like,
can we prove that or no?
It's just like word of mouth coming from Birdie's account. What we can prove is Birdie did spend money on that and spent like a few $100s on this stuff. And it's like
I don't like the argument that like DoorDash is a sufficient thing for the food argument. Because if we look at like food stamps, right? I'm almost positive you can't buy like DoorDash and show with it. You have to buy groceries.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're 100% right.
So I don't like that argument.
You don't get it. They're a picky eater.
Guys,
I gotta pick my McDonald's.
They're picky eaters, so they can't get off their like anorexic ass to go make themselves food.
They can't make themselves a sandwich.
I think you're giving these guys too much credit.
No, that's an excuse that they've used. That's why I said it. But
dude, that is such a sad existence. I'm sorry,
dude. Did you guys see their fucking room and how gross it is?
Oh my god. Dude, they left their wheelchair too. Like I was so confused about that in that image. I'm like, did bro just walk?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Dude, fucking Jesus healed them, dude. They're walking again.
Like I'm really confused about that. Apparently it hurts them to walk, but it's like if it does
something that causes that,
it's called like I'm not going to pretend to be an I'm not going to pretend to be an expert into it, but that is the reason why they have issues. Like it's like I think it's something to do with heart issues. Like I remember going into it a little bit like a few months ago, but I'm not going to pretend to be like an expert on the topic either though. But yes, it is POTS that they have, and apparently that is what gives them that issue of like walking or even like standing up too fast. Which it's fuck.
But dude, there has to be like I think everyone that has POTS, there's no way they don't have a job. Like maybe I'm wrong, and I'm just like because I haven't researched that part. But I don't know. I find it insane that like a person with POTS can't somewhat lead like a normal life to the greatest extent of being able to at least clean a house and like make food for themselves.
It's such an excuse, because there's definitely people out there who have like so many mental or not just mental but physical conditions that they could live a normal life. They don't live in like they're not slob. No. They're not like a little loser on the internet.
I mean, I feel like
I always think that's an excuse.
I feel like with them being home all the time, they could get a job as something as simple as just being like a receptionist at home. Like that doesn't even require like walking around or moving and stuff like that. Which I mean I don't know, but it's like with the thing that they had like the Social Security thing that they were getting, and I think it was like $300 a month or some shit like that. But I'm pretty sure you guys saw that they didn't even go to like the recent like court meeting, and they just kind of lost out on that. Which is like, if you don't have a job, why the fuck are you going to risk your only financial gain that you have that you're getting right now?
Because they're lazy and a moron. They don't understand. They don't understand how real world works. It's so sad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, while we're in the situation, we can talk about one thing before we go into the response. Do you remember like the whole like death threat thing?
The death threat thing was so stupid, dude.
I don't remember that. What is that?
Yeah, so I'll explain this one. Sit down on this one, Amos. I got this. All right, so you see,
He cracks his knuckles.
Yeah, delivery. Yeah, no, you see, like Birdie like made a whole thread talking about how like Synnie tried to kill them. Synnie was having a BoJack Horseman moment and said like, what if I just went 100 miles per hour and just like crashed the car to a tree? It's like, see, Synnie was so mentally ill that they were trying to kill us. It's like, dog. That was like the beginning of it. Stuff in the car, right? And then there was like, because I guess like Synnibear was being called like a pedophile and a groomer and like getting all these threats, so they bought weapons. Now this is actually like a really funny sense of irony. See, Synnie bought that because they were paranoid about like people coming to their like house to kill them, but Birdie took that as they're buying weapons to try to jump me. It's like, dude. So I remember reading it, dude. It was so evil. It's like they bought like pepper spray and they like what else was it, like I think a knife maybe and a crowbar, and it's like I don't even know where you can get a crowbar. It's like, dude.
Get one at like a regular like hardware store.
A fucking Home Depot, dude.
A Home Depot. I think sell them too. You can literally, they're not hard to get,
dude. Also, Synnie, they could just get it there.
They should have hunt. I mean, I don't know how many people go try to buy a crowbar.
Yeah. But I have like leaked this on streams before, so it's nothing even crazy, but I did like talk to some of the people behind the scenes, and that like never went through. When they like reported Synnibear for like the death threats thing, that never went through for a legal thing, because apparently they just classified that as city venting, and they didn't actually see it as death threats. So that one police report that they filed never went through. And it was really malicious. It came off malicious to me because Birdie said, we did file a police report against Synnie, but they responded like tactically under like, reporting the child grooming. And it's like, they never really reported the child grooming. In fact, how it was explained to me, right, was when I was in the group chat, like, well, not in the group chat, talking to someone from the group chat. They said, we were all like in the call with each other, and they called 911 and we are telling them about the death threats. And then someone randomly chimed in, oh yeah, they also groomed a kid. And it's like, dude, they're not going to investigate it off of that. It's like, dude.
I don't know how completely true this is. When you publicize a pedophile case or like a grooming case and don't go to the police first, it can actually harm the case.
It probably does.
It 100% does, because the internet's kind of like a very hard thing to prove sometimes, just because, I mean, it's the internet. So it kind of causes, it's a lot harder for cops to verify anything, because how easily something can be faked and stuff like that. So that's why it's like most of the time, if it goes on the internet, it doesn't go anywhere.
And you want to know what the other attempt of a police report was? It wasn't even, it was an accidental report. And you might be asking, how the fuck did they accidentally report it to the police? Well, we got our, knight in shining armor here, Laurel, right? And they went to go to like the therapist, and they vented about this. You see, they vented, right, about the whole city thing, being like, dude, like Synnie like straight up groomed a kid, bro. And it's like that therapist was like, okay, I literally have to report this to the police. Wasn't even intended to report to the police, but accidentally got an investigation, and which just still led nowhere regardless. And it's like, that was like,
yeah,
that wasn't intentional. They just vented, and it just like they try to like act like, yeah, see, so it did get reported to the police, you guys. And it's like, no, that is, even if it did, right, it wouldn't have gotten far anyways. Because like another thing too, I think like Birdie tried to claim like, oh yeah, any leftover money I get, I'll give it to like, the victim or whatever, right? And that's not going to work either, because I think like the reality of the situation when try to go into this, it's never going to go anywhere. Because in order for, I believe, in order to like press things for like grooming cases, you have to have like the actual like victim's parents' consent to look into the case. And what normally happens, like the victim gets too embarrassed to tell it to their parents, or they don't want to deal with it, right? So the two things that could not be followed on, I don't think it could have been reported regardless, especially if these people were handling it, but it wouldn't have been reported. And as for the money thing, how do you think a 14-year-old is going to get PayPal? Through their parents? And how do you think they're going to get the money from their parents? They would have to explain it, which they're not going to. So that's like,
a guy I know online is groom somebody.
A interesting thing. I got like an allegation of I think it was from Softheneco actually, because I was talking to them about shit, right? From what I remember, allegedly from Softheneco, and they like still hadn't like given the money at like the very least, which is interesting if they're gonna buy My Little Pony, but they haven't give the money yet.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's ever gonna realistically happen. Like I feel like Birdie should have just not made the promise, because it's like how are you gonna expect to give a 14-year-old who doesn't even want to tell their parents that they were groomed money? Like, you can't transfer it to them or anything like that, or any way possible. Their parents have to know in order for you to give them money.
Yeah.
And it's like that. That's realistically just not gonna happen.
I mean, what do you guys think about? I think there's an argument on Twitter. I don't know if I agree with that about how apparently the GoFundMe, Birdie needs to pay taxes on it, and I don't think anybody knows if they have or not yet.
I mean, I think that information's out in the open. I'm not sure if they have or not.
I don't know if they have or not either. I don't know.
Yeah, at this moment, I have no information to like build upon that, because I think that's just like kind of just in the air at the moment.
Dude, I could just imagine Birdie, like they're just like drawing on their little tablet, and then the IRS like knocks down their door and says, "Give us your tax money."
Bro,
just like they yell at the IRS is like,
IRL.
"Oh, if you do that, I will kill myself." Don't do that. I don't want to be taxed.
Don't do that. I need my internet. Don't put me in jail.
God. But you know, I do want to like get into the actual response feature, right? Because it's like, I think actually before we actually get into it, we got to have a little bit of do we have to have this context? Do you guys want to do a little deep dive into Kumo for a segment or no?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because like Kumo is kind of like he's an annoying but like important character, I guess, to consider in this story, because like he kind of just came to run to like Synny's defense and created a group where at least the only people that Synny could talk to was himself and, well, Romantic Goblin and whoever the other no name was that he basically had like full control over. So he created an environment that he was he was a controlled environment that had to talk to Synny. If you wanted to talk to Synny, you had to go through him. Okay, nobody else could reach out to Synny, which was kind of just like gay, but that was like something that will be known as like the Synny support squad, which got leaked in this full entirety, which is really funny. But well, I'll tap on that a little bit later. You see, Kumo, right, with his huge intellectual mind, was really mad, right, that Birdie was just chilling, you know? Birdie was looking like a great person in the public, but Synnibear, the person who sent rape porn to a 14-year-old, was getting hate. And you know what? He sat in there and be like, whoa, you're calling this grooming? Yeah.
Well,
how about you debate me?
Hold on. Let's be very fair to Kumo. I think everything that was leaked, I can see where he's coming from, where he says it's sexual misconduct. I don't know if you said that yet or not.
I don't like that argument either.
I think of like everything that was presented. I can see how he can come to that conclusion. Until he obviously got the admittance like later down the line that like they wanted them to like read out the comics and all that shit, because
I want to air this out right now. You know why the sexual misconduct argument is stupid as fuck, especially from Kumo? Because there's two angles why it's stupid. One, if you actually look up like sexual misconduct and look into it, it would have to be a physical interaction.
Oh,
so
okay.
Which means that one, that's why it's stupid. But even if I gave Kumo the charitability, right, and applied it to an online setting, he literally said Synny's not a groomer. She's worse, and that's why I'm defending her. And I'm like, what? Dude, so you think she's worse than a child groomer? And you still are guarding defending her? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, like, if that is true what you're saying, then yeah, that makes like a lot more sense, and I probably wouldn't even give him the charitability then. My understanding was it didn't have to be physical a bit.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked into it, it said like it had to be like a confrontation or something, like, you know, physical touch or something like that, right? But like I said, even if I'm giving him that charitability, his point was stupid as fuck, because he said Synny was worse, and that's why I'm defending it. It's like, that makes no fucking sense. It's like, yeah, it's not what you guys are saying, it's worse. And it's like, really? And that you felt good saying it. You felt smart saying that. You felt like like a great guy saying that.
I can understand of like, oh, we need to get rid of Birdie, or like Birdie needs to get like, you know, we get rid of Birdie in general, but like, obviously Synnibear is a much worse person at this moment in time. Let's focus getting rid of Synny, and then we can work on little Birdie here. Like, it's very obvious. It's a simple thing to do. It's so stupid.
It's very obvious. Like, it's very obvious from the logs, because at first Kumo tried to present this like idea, right, that it was merely like him just try to help a person get better. Because like, you know what? I get the argument of, would you rather like help a bad person get better, which will reduce the chances of another victim in the future, or do nothing and personally guarantee another victim happening down the line? Which it's like, if you put that moral dilemma at your footstep, you're going to choose, okay, maybe it is better for someone to help them. And it's like, okay, I get that like angle. But he was very dishonest with how he framed it. When all those DMs got leaked, it was very obvious, like even like in the like personal DMs and Cine support squad, it was very obvious of like his vendetta and his motives. He literally like said after like the debate stream, if you go back to the timestamp DMs, he says like, well, I had to defend you, even though his biggest thing was I never defended Synni. It's like he was like, just proudly proclaiming to Synnibear, Snow Bunny, that he defended her. And it's like, dog, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong?
The Snow Bunny thing.
Snow Bunny is crazy. That's awesome.
But it's like, and it's very obvious, even from the group chat that got leaked, they all had the intentions to defend Synni with the main intention of getting back at Birdie. Which it's like, it's fine if you want to make Birdie a target. Birdie's like an insufferable piece of shit that shouldn't be online anyways. But you don't have to defend a child groomer to do that. And that was very stupid, which makes me personally think, and this is a little bit of like, an assumption, if you will, that's like Kumo had actual interest in Synni. Like it makes me feel that he had a little bit of an attraction, considering the names he would given her, sending her heart emojis, calling her sweetheart, and calling her honey. And it's like, dog.
Yeah,
it's like.
So, I think we debated this on Hempleton stream. If there's a way I can get it, I'll put this in post too. His like rationale for it was that he's a Southern man, so calling people honey and shit is like not a term of endearment, and it's actually just normal.
That's like the worst. That is the worst thing.
Yeah, then apparently he lied about even from where he was from. That was normal.
Wait, is he not from the South either?
Well, I think he said something like he was from Arizona, and apparently he wasn't. Like, and that got like revealed, and it's like, dude, you're gay. You just lied on stream to like save your skin for reason, and you look even worse and stupid. Unironically, out of the two between Jar and Kumo, I actually think, like in serious note, Kumo actually had an attraction to Synni. I unironically think he liked her, like in a unprofessional way, whether it's just for flirting or anything like that, because you don't just proudly proclaim to them like, oh, I defended you, and try to make like a whole savior complex and like make this whole manipulative environment that only you could talk to her, only you can fix her.
Yeah.
All right. Only it's like,
I mean, we are going to get into the Jar shit later.
Oh yeah, we will.
But do you think that Kumo shit is like comparable in like a moral sense to what Jar did?
I mean, they only get compared because it's like the funny love triangle meme, but it's like, I unironically think it struggles with me, right? Because both of them had, preconceived intentions, which makes it bad. I feel like Kumo had an attraction and just was spiteful to Birdie, so he was willing to overlook the bad action she did to defend her. In fact, he even defended her right in the debate stream to keep her platform. So it's like he was debating like to keep her here, right? Now, with Jar, it's like he downplayed it. I feel like his intention was to downplay it and fix her reputation just so that he could have an ally for later. And honestly, while I'm trying to like weigh these on a scale, I can't really tell who's worse, because they both have preconceived intentions of just willing to excuse a piece of shit person just for their own personal gain. At the end of the day,
I mean, like, we have two people that had a preconceived notion going into all of this. And we also have two people, I guess a better argument would be two people that are at least defending Synni, right? And both, and one was saying that they were going to fix their reputation, and the other was just trying to help with like their life, if it was trying to get Birdie on the cat thing or anything like that, which I think was one of the things.
Like, with the response, I will say too, Kumo was so helpful to this person that he, wrote 70% of her response script, Apparently,
was
well,
that true?
actually,
because from what
he
I
said
remember,
he said it on Chud, like he said it on
Really?
Chud's stream, that
Yeah, I think he
70%
did,
of the
yeah.
script that he wrote was used,
Okay.
and Synni just didn't understand the argument. He unironically was in the hands of helping her with a response video. He was genuinely
That's-
trying to save her career.
That's very weird. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt, because I probably can't show Hempleton clips because it's from a membership role or whatever. From what I remember, I think he said that like they didn't really use the script, and he just like fixed her script or something like that. Maybe I'm like insane, but I
Well,
feel
in the
like he
Chud
said
thing,
that.
at Chud thing, it's like he said something like he wrote the script and she like made some revisions and used like 70% of his script. And it's like, dude, that's still.
I swear Kumo said the complete opposite on the Hempleton stream.
If he did, I mean, I would not be shocked if Kumo of all people was a liar. And considering of how many things that he was dishonest with before with just the Synni stuff, it's like he was lying about details and lying about his intentions, lying about like where he was like coming from this. He was lying about something as simple as defending her. And like when the DMs get leaked, it's like, I defended you, girl. It's like, okay, bud. Okay. it's like, okay, dude. Like I don't even think he even knew like the whole like grooming concept is like a whole well, because I know what angle he was trying to come. It's unironically the same angle Jar was trying to come from. It's like, you know, the core definition of grooming would be prepping a child up for sex, right? And if you want to get semantical, sure, Synnibear did not do that. However, you could still make arguments of it being grooming in other semantics, which would be, you know, exposing the child to NSFW content or normalizing NSFW conversations between an adult and a minor, and also isolation of the child and trying to feel special. Those were the things that were used in this relationship. Isolation being like they would vent them, and their excuse of, oh, they were already isolated before I met them, which was a stupid fucking thing for Synni to say. They acknowledged that they were isolated, and also they said that they loved them. They called them honey, and multiple times they trusted them enough to vent them to make them feel special. And again, they sent rape porn, which Kumo's beautiful defense for it, right? Kumo's beautiful defense for it's like, well, you see, fucking Ina already has that kink, right? So I don't really see the issue with that. It's like, dude, are you gay? Like,
are you a faggot?
I don't really consider it because they've already seen it.
Yeah, like
all right, buddy.
My big argument for why it's grooming is obviously, like you said, they made them feel special. They were isolated, and they were normalizing these sexual topics to a payoff. They got the payoff. They got in call, and she had to read the rape comic aloud, which in her words, she wanted to hear them say it and hear their reaction. She was
interested in the reaction of a 14-year-old reading a rape comic. Yeah. And it's like, that completely destroyed and dismantles Kumo's whole point of, I think Synni is just an oversharer.
Yeah, which he obviously acknowledges that it destroys his point, because in that call where she's like, yeah, I made them read it, and honestly, I just wanted to hear the reaction. You can like hear Kumo instantly shift his stance and saying, no.
It starts having like, what's it, that Punisher meme. It's like, no, wait. Dude, I don't know. I feel like with Kumo, I feel like it's obvious that compared to like Jar or like Kumo, which one's like arguably worse? I would say Kumo, just because I feel like Synni probably would have just like left the internet and probably not come back. But
Kumo in that 100%. Call literally said everyone was right for the wrong reasons.
I just think Jar is just autistic. And I think that's like his biggest thing. Obviously, I know he meant it like he's trying to get connections and use it as that way, which is obviously really, really bad and gay. But like, I don't know. I feel like Kumo is just clearly doing it just because, I mean, he claims just to go to a Birdie topic, but I just think he was just doing it because I think he was actually like gooning.
Yeah, I think there's two scenarios. I did one of my scenarios in my video. I genuinely think he had like good intentions going into it, and then he just eventually like maybe found attraction or feelings for her, and it just went down the rabbit hole from there.
Yeah, Kumo, got the snow bunny curse and just fell down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
But this is the thing, just don't get too personal in these stories. That's exactly what Kumo did, and that's exactly what Jar did. Lesson learned, guys. Don't be gay and get like really lovey-dovey with your topic of possibly being a
I mean I think from this situation as a whole, I think I've come to like the realization is you probably shouldn't get invested at all, only unless like you're trying to talk to people for their responses to that to shit, and that's like where it sits. Like you don't try to befriend them, you don't try to do anything like that. It's like, hey, these are the allegations, what's your response? And then okay, thank you, and that's it.
And one more thing I do want to say about like Kumo, because I don't want to get away scot-free with it either. They had the opportunity, like they were in a call with Synni. And what makes it even more dumb on their part is that they were given the opportunity to already pre-read every single DM between Cinny and Eno before it was public.
Is that real?
So yes, that is real, and he had access to it. And his excuse was, I didn't like notice the part, where Cinny talks about the fucking rape comic thing.
Okay, wait, that's insane because when Hempleton wrote it, and I think brought it up to Romantic Goblin, I'm pretty sure. Which is insane, right? Because Hempleton told Romantic Goblin, I'm pretty sure, apparently read the rape comics aloud, or at least there's like enough there to say, hey, it's very possible that this happened, right? And I find that insane that if Kumo and possibly Romantic Goblin read all of these and didn't catch that, it's insane.
That either is like, if you want to be bad faith, that means he probably saw it and tried to like maliciously sweep, or if you want to be good faith, he's just retarded and can't research and just like ignored that while going through it,
or just like skimmed over it, which is also very possible.
Which to be clear, I mean, maybe you could be nice and charitable to him and say, hey, I mean, Hempleton did take like over 4 streams to like actually read all of them, and it was like 8 hours plus. Okay, this guy's like a horrible researcher, and he should obviously not like make allegations public without getting every piece of information beforehand. You could go around either route.
Yeah, no matter what,
especially when you're about to go on the defense on somebody, and you just
exactly
skim over it. Like if somebody comes with me if somebody comes with me with allegations against Amos, and there's like a bunch of like, there's a whole docket, and I just skim through it, and I just like, I like this guy, I'm gonna defend him. That's gonna put me in such a bad position if there is something bad in those docs, and that's exactly what happened. That's just an idiot thing. That's an idiotic thing to do.
Yeah, and it's really dumb because like, obviously you should not take, go running gun-ho defense for something you didn't even read.
But she does have pussy though. Let's think about
that.
This, right?
She is a snow bunny. She is a good 3 out of 10 pedophile.
I don't even know about 3 out of 10, dude. She's chopped.
Oh, you'll go higher? You'll go higher?
No, lower,
bro.
Amos is going higher with the ratings. Okay.
We get much higher. Like, my God.
Actually, I think arguably she's a 7.
I will say that I think Kumo like fucked this entire situation and made it way more convoluted than it should have been. I really do think it should have stopped with Sunny apologizing and the document being out.
Yeah,
Kumo had little hands in it. He got to put his little.
Would have been clear, concise, and now the situation's been infinitely going. Yeah, because you got your little grimy hands in it. Fuck off, dude.
Remember the locker room talk argument that he made?
Oh my God.
That's one of my favorite arguments I've ever heard about, like that whole situation.
Kumo knows a lot about, locker room, girl locker rooms, dude. Fucking hell. He's an expert on it.
He goes to high schools every day.
Yeah, he sneaks in there every day, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like I might have debated him on this, or maybe Hempleton did. But like, dude, I don't know why you couldn't find a good argument against it. But it is like literally insane because Cindy's like so old that there's no way they would be in the locker room with a 14-year-old. We're like the
PE teacher.
the PE teacher, yeah. But like, even if Cindy was like the PE teacher, it would be grooming or like really bad. Like, I don't.
It's so stupid. I was like, when I heard that as like an argument on his stream, I was like, no way, that is an argument you're trying to make. Like that is like so bad.
Oh, dude, I gotta let this like settle in too, because like this almost is basically lost media with the exception of some like live streamers, right? Kumo thought of this beautiful theory to try to justify making Synnibear look like a victim. You see, he came up with something called the gay op theory. Now, this has got to be like one of the most beautiful theories that's hard to find. Dude, it was so amazing. So he thought to himself, right? See, Birdie had a group chat with all of their friends, right? And they willingly took, patted them on the back and said, get in their sports, and sent Eno into the direction of Synnibear in a way to set up Synnibear so that they would fall for it and they could expose their roommate as a child groomer.
That sounds really crazy because I swear that wasn't the gay op theory. And what the real gay op theory was that they obviously like they groomed Eno. And then the gay op theory was that Birdie like basically gay opped them into thinking that they were a groomer.
See, that would be what you just said was what actually happened. what I gave you is what Kumo like was like schizo-theorying about.
Okay.
And it was like so fucking funny. Because even with the whole group chat thing, that group chat thing started after the whole fucking like they found out like Cinny was a groomer. So like it doesn't even add up. And it's like you just don't have anything here. You are trying to like make Birdie look way worse by trying to he tried to like frame Birdie as someone who would be willing to harm a victim just to get an easy internet boost off of their roommate. And it's like that just didn't happen. Like
I just imagine City going to Kumo, be like, Kudo, I need help. I'm being accused of being a groomer. Don't worry, sweetie, I got you. Also, the clipboard, like the notes, like on the board, like all the little lines, be like, okay, listen here, guys. All right, locker room talk. Think about it, okay? Birdie's worse. Okay, that's also another argument we could go. And then argument that there's a conspiracy theory.
And then Romantic Goblin slowly raising her hand up to try to oppose. Romantic, are you trying to say something?
No, I actually like the idea.
Jar's over here peeking his head in and like, oh, okay, cool. I'll take it.
Dude, I could totally
I'm taking
imagine
notes on this one.
Dude, I could totally like imagine like a really funny edit of like Kumo being like a weird creepypasta and like Cinny says, guys, help, I'm being groomed, and then creepypasta Kumo like breaks open the door and says, Cinny, I'm here to help.
Not just like a meat canyon animation.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay. Any of you animators and artists, you know what to do, okay?
Yep.
Get that thing.
But yeah, I mean, obviously Kumo got mugged. He's off the internet. He's gay. He's never coming back. I say for now, but like I've heard some things behind the scenes, and it's like that guy is actually unironically terrified to come back to commentary. If he does ever come, yeah, I know. I wonder why. If he ever comes back to this public scene at all, it's just gonna be gaming streams, which I hope he live streams because that'd be so funny to like just see him like crash out in the comments and people be like, "Did you defend? Did you raise up a groomer?"
Is that he's doing the Hempleton route?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, bro.
One thing I will say about Kumo, one more thing. Remember when he took down Flatley's video and his excuse?
This guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
His excuse was, well, somebody did it to me, so and nobody cared, so I used my art and a thumbnail. That's literally what it was. It was so funny.
Dude,
and like Riley got like any notoriety. Okay, that was.
Dude, and
Yeah.
do you think he had like on his coat mask? He was crying while listening to Incel Core. He's like, guys, they didn't care about me. I gotta do it back. Billions must die.
Yeah, one meme of the guy looking up and just like with rain coming down. That one, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that he was doing when he was like, nobody talks about me. Oh,
Dude, why is Gojo defending a group? The fuck?
I remember. I think Chud was talking about it, and we were like, "He knows who you are. You're like a 1K shitter."
God. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like City's response was horrible, and it's because I don't think it's anyone's surprise that it was horrible because the schizo tried to write it up. You know, a schizo that was infatuated with love. Like try to save baby girl's career.
I will say the one thing to come out of it is we obviously got context to the social security thing. I think that's like the only good thing from that response.
I guess, but it's kind of weird to me because like we've come to this era with like Synnibear and Birdie kind of both being like unreliable narrators. So it's like unironically, I have to listen to a creepy piece of shit, you know, Birdie, or a child groomer to try to get like a correct narrative. And it's just, it feels like I hate when like it happens like this, especially with how weird they are. Because like with Birdie, every time it, like Cindy would say something, it's like, you guys are gonna trust a pedophile over what I'm saying.
And then you got like the like SpongeBob meme where he goes,
he's only this big. How many diapers could he possibly use? Oh, that's not so much. So?
and you got to like Birdie with all their like dirty laundry, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was base. You know, speaking of Birdie, dude, you know, actually, wait, should we talk about, you know, the little meow thing that happened with them?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is how you know. Like this situation is how you know that you're in too deep. This is how you know you should be offline and just leave the internet. When unironically it goes from a child groomer case to arguing about the custody of cats.
Yeah.
Okay, that is how you know you are fucking cooked. All right. My God.
I remember
And the worst.
the cat
Yep.
thing was so funny to me. I remember reacting to it on live on my stream, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Oh, it was funny. It was funny. It's just that they're cooked, bro.
Dude,
That they're cooked. That this is what we're arguing about.
Dude, I thought it was so meaningless. I literally cut it from my video. I was literally gonna talk about it, and I'm like, dude, nobody. Like, why do I give a shit?
No, it was funny. I was considering like milking Cinny one last time. I was like, this is just not worth it. I'll just call him stupid and say that their cat deserves to die or something, and then that's it.
Actually, but it does give this moral dilemma, Amos. I'll give this one to you since you're a little debate bro. Would you rather between Birdie and Cinny, right? And I'll give like a little description. Would you rather trust the cats with Birdie, who has a history of saying that they want to kill animals, or Synnibear, the person who groomed a child? Who do you think? Who are you going to give these cats to?
Well, it's obviously Synnibear, because Birdie would consider fucking it. So we're obviously gonna give it Cinny.
They would think about fucking it.
Consider it, guys. They'll just sit there, look at the cat, and be like, maybe? Nah.
Yeah,
Unlike-
cat warts.
Oh my god, cat warts. Yes.
Cat warts? Let's go.
God.
No, like imagine Birdie's just like sitting there, like staring at the cat. Should I fuck it? I mean, it's not the breed I like. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like those hairless cats.
I like
God.
hairless cats.
I like those hairless
And
cats. I don't like
And
the
then
ones
City just looks at it. It just says it's too old. But yeah, no. Anyways, I think that should there's no need to go like into a fucking deep dive because it just got really gay with this. That's pretty much the gist of it. So, speaking of Birdie, am I right, guys? You see, I'll actually like start off with this like other one. You see, they were actually starting to get shit for their NSFW art account. Now, people were obsessed with the narrative that Birdie is just as bad as Cinny. Like they're both groomers. And people were obsessed with that. And they were looking through everything to try to grasp that. And the first thing they tried to contest to to show, actually prove that narrative was the NSFW art account. And the thing is, Birdie had an 18 plus account. However, there was people that followed it that didn't have age in bio. And I guess they interacted with a 15-year-old. However, there's not enough evidence to even suggest that they knew that person was 15. Which is why the argument was like insane.
Was their account private?
It wasn't private. See, the thing is, right? If you're an 18 plus account, if you're not 18 plus, it's not gonna like show up for your account like on Twitter. But obviously the only flaw with that is people lie about being 18 on the internet. So it's like then you run that risk.
Like police on those type of accounts sometimes. Because some people don't even have ages, so.
Yeah, I think like at worst, and obviously I don't know any screenshots or anything about this. I'm just hearing it from Ace. At worst, from what I've heard, I'd probably consider it irresponsible, because they tag like all of their videos 13 plus, 16 plus. I think it's like very possible that a little 14-year-old could be scrolling Twitter and search up Birdie and just find their NSFW account if it's not private, right?
Right. But it's like I thought it was insane because when I saw the situation, I thought it was like just irresponsible or reckless at best of what you could actually 100% concretely prove. But it's like try to actually take that and compare it to the whole like city sending rape porn to a 15-year-old is fucking ludicrous. Yeah. It's like you were so obsessed with that narrative.
Listen, Birdie sucks, right? There's a lot of things you can tear her apart for, like, or them apart for, like, a lot of things.
Him!
Like, okay, I don't care. Point is like, when you're trying to, like, make up reasons on why you need to call him worse than somebody who's a groomer, you're just like, I don't know, you're kind of just ruining your whole thing about trying to call them out. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Honestly, like what else was there? Like we'll go through these like Birdie ones like kind of quick. Like with the self-harm thing, right? Like I'm pretty sure maybe Ant has seen it on Twitter. Like I don't know, or Amos has seen it, but it's like basically there was a thread person was talking about in like 2024. They were like suicidal, and Birdie was suicidal too. And the issue was they were both enabling each other's self-harm. Now, where it actually started to also become an issue, 2 reasons. One, I think it's just disgusting that Birdie would enable it because they did it mainly because they're sexually attracted to cuts. So they were enabling this person's mentally illness because they're into knife play. And 2, that I feel like the main argument that I can make why it's wrong is because of the fucking like they encourage them to cut to the last layer of the skin, which that could kill them. That 100% could kill them.
So that's such a weird knife play fetishes are like one of the most weird, like disgusting fetishes like out there. It's awful.
I think.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal.
I think
yeah.
knife play. I think knife play proves Jesus does not exist. I'm gonna keep it real. Okay.
Knife play proves what does not exist?
Jesus does not exist because of knife play.
Yeah.
I'm joking, obviously. But,
yeah.
He does the cross when he says that. I'm joking.
Yeah, because I watched the Chris the Narc stream. Didn't this guy try to claim that like it was grooming because they were normalizing the behavior?
I don't know how to fully feel about that because like I guess part of grooming is desensitizing someone to something, which it's like at that point I feel like how loosely can you use it? But I mean maybe it might be technically right, but I don't know if that's like the first thing that comes to my mind with like when I see the situation as grooming.
I will say, and this is probably like some people might not agree with us. My big issue with using grooming outside of like a pedophile context is that obviously like pedophile like connotation online with grooming. So I feel like it's like pretty reckless to use that in like any other context, unless you're like talking about like cleaning your dog or whatever.
Right. Or, you know, being the husband's best man. Or no, just being the husband. Yeah, fuck the groom. Whoopsie. Yeah, whatever.
When I'm at my wedding, I guess you could say I'm the groomer now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the groomer to the bride. Huh? Yeah.
She's 50 way.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, speaking of grooming, right? Let's get into the Juno draggy. You see, that whole thing, right, was I have very mixed feelings about this because for this context to like make sense, Birdie considered what happened to them by like kitty pups or like whatever, I forget their exact, not kitty dog. That's what it was. Yeah, kitty dog. Yeah, as like they were 14 and Birdie was 12, they considered themselves to be groomed because they try to make a whole power imbalance argument, right? But with that context, keep that in the back of your head, Ant, because I know you forget things. Now you see the whole Juno thing, right? So when Birdie was 16, they were 13, and now Birdie said all like the meme things that pedophiles would say, you know, like you're pretty mature for your age. You know, it's like I'll tell you when you're shit like that. It's like, okay, buddy. It's like what else was it? What else? It's like I think they try to say it should have been my responsibility to turn down the 13-year-old, but I was in such a bad mental state that I felt like I was manipulated to accept them or some bullshit like that. And it's like, dog, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to like call them a groomer because of their own moral standards. I think that's really silly. You could just call them a hypocrite.
No, yeah, obviously you call them a hypocrite.
And somebody that like moral fags probably is like the two ideas.
I think Birdie would call himself a groomer if they saw them in public. But would I? I don't know. Not off of this alone. You see, I think like it's kind of funny they say the meme things, but I think what was crazy in their like I'm back video is they unironically tried to like make this whole like schizo theory that since they were like in a vulnerable placement after a breakup, they try to make the argument that this 13-year-old knew that they were in a place after an abusive relationship and try to take advantage of that in their weakest moments. And I'm like, dog.
Which, by the way, yeah, which is insane. A 13-year-old, I don't think could even craft up a way to manipulate somebody.
See, like, that comes off as projection now.
Okay, fuck you, asshole. I want you dead in the streets. I'm gonna do it better than anyone else.
Speaking about like dead, you know, I thought it's just about careers, and you know, thinking about dead careers makes me move on to Jar, dude. Like, if you know, let's get into Jar. You know, we got the little Jar guy in the car. Yeah, I love Jars.
Jar's
Giving
awesome. My favorite.
Giving it loves My Little Ponies and Jars.
Jar,
yeah, no, you see,
Jar in the car, and he's not gay.
You see,
Jar in the car, and he's now hard. Boom.
There's actually, you see, I've been talking about Jar quite a bit recently, so I think there's definitely a lot of interesting angles to consider here too. So we all know the response video. It was shit, like or defense video. So it was shit, right?
Oh,
But obviously the interview was shit, leading questions, all the basic stuff. They make Family Guy references because they're gay, right? Like
Hey,
evil stuff.
Lois.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
Lois.
they
Ryan.
downplay something. But you know what's even worse? Jar
Huh.
tried to say as a defense, and I think I said this to like Amos at one point, or said it publicly or somewhere around. See, Jar tried to say as a defense, right? Well, I thought grooming had to only be prepping a child up for sex. However, they were stupid enough to give Lio Convoy their original version of the video that was made before their defense video, right? Their original video, right, would actually dig into Synni and give them all the criticisms and go hard into them, right? They literally said, this is the first time I've seen grooming like this. I thought it had to be it had to prep a child for sex, but no, they did it. They groomed them by desensitizing them and shit. Like they unironically said that and understood it was grooming before they defended them. They unironically understood that Synni was a groomer, like in the script, before they made a video defending them, which is absolutely fucking wild to me.
Yeah,
because
and
not
then
only
they went on
were they
Judge
stated them.
Stream and shit and said, "Well, I don't think it's grooming or whatever." It's like,
Yeah.
See, they flip-flopped and lied about that, but what is absolutely insane to me, because it actually makes it even worse on Jar. You see, that means they've already accepted the idea that Synnibear is a groomer, but still wanted to defend them so that they could be like a future ally to come to his defense later. And when the DMs leaked, right, he was very obvious making like a hero savior kind of flex in the DMs, and he was definitely going to use, well, I saved your career, can you help me out when I'm in drama, while knowing that she groomed the kid. He was fully willing to save her career, knowing that fact, and to still have her as an ally later. And I think that makes him fucking insane. Absolutely diabolical and fucking insane. It's like, I don't like Jar at all. I don't think it's like the simp thing, but it's like, it is absolutely fucking egregious to do that. How are you going to defend somebody you know is just a piece of shit just for selfish gain? Which makes sense though.
Yeah.
Uses people as tools and stepping stones. That is like, Mr. Jar over here, which is fucking insanity,
It's
bro.
so gay because it's like, I'm gonna use these it's just, I hate people who try to do that type of thing, because like I know people who've tried that. It was like, if I help you out, you're gonna have to help me out in the future. I hate people like that, and it's so weird. Especially, what makes it worse is that he did it with somebody who is a groomer. It's like it makes it even worse.
Yeah, you see, I don't think, right, that he was sexually, well, he kind of was. He conceded to that like an idiot, but I don't think he had a romantic interest in sex. I think the simp meme is funny. I just think it's the worst thing where he just wanted her as an ally for later.
yeah,
I unironically don't think he did.
I mean, one of the big things, right, is there's like the sleepy time call thing, but when he was like pressed on it, like way down the line, he didn't even know what like a sleepy time call was, what everybody thinks it is.
Dude, it's fucking insane. When I asked him about that, right, I was like, okay, define to me what you think a sleepy time call is. This motherfucker was like, I think it's just a call that you have and then you hang up and go to bed. Dog, that is just a normal call.
Yeah.
What? Like a normal
I guess-
night, like late call.
Guys, I guess I'm victim of a lot of sleepy time calls. I don't.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you unironically framed it like you had sleepy time calls with a child groomer. And it's like so many things were like, brought into question. Like, he tries to have like sleepy time calls with, he's just lonely, dude. He just wants to call people late.
Yeah.
And just fucking like
had-
autistic yap.
Which is insane because this guy has like a fucking girlfriend. Like you
Yeah,
can't call your girlfriend.
That's true. That's
I
what,
did
that's
ask
what-
about
was
that.
One of my points in my video was like you literally could talk to your girlfriend, right, on call, or you can like do what some people do and like listen to YouTube videos, or just slap on some music. Like you don't have to be on a call with somebody on Discord. Like that's so stupid.
I did ask him about that, like, why not your girlfriend? And like, because like, why the child groomer? Well, sometimes she would be like really tired and go to bed before I do. And also she would take lots of naps. So she was pretty much unavailable to talk to all day. And it's like, okay. I mean, I guess, but like, even then, like, obviously if you're interviewing someone and trying to take care of their story and not have like a biased take, you don't want to like get all friendly and lovey-dovey with, all, hey, what's up? Let's talk about Star Wars. Even though you're an alleged child groomer.
Yeah.
Fucking talk about the DC Tower of Babel, dude. It's like, yeah, I got files on
He's a character.
I'm like the art commentary Batman, if you will. You see, I got the weaknesses of every art commentator. It's like, okay,
Dude,
dog.
Dude, Ace, that's literally like the retarded jokes we used to make in private, but this guy actually believes it.
Oh yeah, no.
It's like I don't think anyone would actually unironically do that. Like that is so schizo.
Yeah.
It's so gay.
I'm the art community's Batman. I'm so retarded.
Yeah.
My
But
parents were shot in the streets.
I think like what is also really funny because like I think like this situation gets a little blown out of proportion to like the serious level sometimes, but I do understand why it's an issue. The fucking VidCon stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's so fucking funny because they treat it like every time it's framed like a story that's being told, it's like this serial killer would follow these women into
Word it like that.
Do you know what I
That's why I
want somebody
hate any of
like
it.
really badly to do?
what?
I really want somebody to like make a video talking about the VidCon story with Jar, an American
A true
Psycho.
crime documentary?
No, American Psycho,
fucking
where they have monologue and shit going through it. It would be so fucking
Dude.
funny.
That would be awesome, dude. Somebody get on that.
It's like Jar's walking. I noticed that Ponder Sprocket is at 11 o'clock. All right,
It's
if I
like,
take the left now.
Dexter
Okay.
monologue.
Dexter monologue. Yeah.
That would be so
Yeah.
fun. Hey, you have contact with Jar, Ace. All right, ask him to make that happen, okay? We need
Jar.
Dexter Jar, please.
Jar, be funny for the internet, please.
Do
All right?
this for me, please.
do this for me.
Do you guys think that like Jar like sits there and like fantasizes about like a death note for the art community but destroys careers?
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopeless peaches and then their careers destroyed.
Dude, this guy unironically like listens to music and fantasizes him like as an anime main character beating all the people he's had dramas with.
Is that just me? That seems like a pattern with like a lot of art CC people that they act like they treat themselves like a different character, like a comic character or like an anime character. And they act like that, and they vision themselves as that.
Well, I
I see
mean,
that-
Kumo's like a really good one.
See, Kumo did it well,
Yeah.
but Jar looks like a cringe dweeb when he does it. That's-
Like Lio has like acted. I feel like Lio has done that too. I could be wrong.
I
I
think
know,
some
like,
people
what's
have
it
said the
mean?
same thing.
Kumo
Yeah.
or a Kumo light Yangame or whatever. It's like I don't know. It's something I've been noticing. All right, I think it's really funny.
And I'm next,
Dude.
Buster.
Yeah, Amos is gonna be the new anime main character. He's making an opening right now. He's gonna be like, yeah, this is
He's the
how I
deep.
see myself.
He's the deep.
Yeah, yeah, the deep.
Okay, editor, roll the anime music. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wait, you said editor. That's literally you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna like go too long in this topic. I just like want to bring up like I think a thing or two here. Like I did like obviously like reach out to the guy and that went around. What like blew my fucking mind is like this guy claims to be really paranoid. Kumo and Romantic Goblin, people who objectively hate him. He's never had a DM with Romantic Goblin before ever. All right, and this to put you in the proper timeline. He just basically had his copy of any defense video right out.
Yeah.
He has it, but he wants someone to prove it. He looked at Romantic Goblin, someone who objectively hated him and does not like him and has no reason to be kind to him, was like, you know what? She's involved in the situation. I want her thoughts. And he unironically thought that there was like a unspoken pact because it's like, well, I don't like the RCC and these two don't like the RCC, so maybe they'll help me out. You know, they'll slide for a fella. Yeah, it's like it's like this guy, no DMs, sent it to her, right? And it's like, dog, what is wrong with you? You couldn't have had anyone better look at your fucking defense video, and then you were surprised that Goblin, you know, Kumo's little henchman, like sent it directly to him, and then Kumo like posted it with like all these cat images. It's like you were shocked about that.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you not see this coming?
I mean that, and like I do find a thing really funny about your interview with Chai. Was the Kentucky Fried Chicken woman story.
Oh,
Yeah. You see,
that's
you
awesome.
see, I love all the clips I was able to get of him because it's amazing. Because like, what was like really weird with this guy? Like, I had to have 2 different calls with him. Right? He wanted a casual call, and then like a confrontation call. And what was so weird about that is like in the casual call, awkward. It's like, you know, the whole like you defended a group is just there, and I can't talk about it. So it's like I'm just kind of like sitting there, and then the day after, we have the confrontation call. I go into it. He kind of stresses out quite a bit, and it's like he unironically like took a break and had to come back, and it's like, dude, are you not ready for this at all? And it's like, I don't know. I like was posted out there. Some people caught like some lies that he said, or some things that he just got like really weird about. Like he's very petty when it comes to like the doodle tone stuff. Literally, like with fucking doodle tones, literally just put on beef at first that they've had disagreements with, which I wish I was fucking joking. And then the other thing was like the whole Mally malware thing, where doodle tones simply read tweets like for Harley TBS. And even in the call that was leaked that I went up, Jar and doodle tones were extremely close. So for the whole like backstabbing thing, it's like, so your example of backstabbing is doodle tones read tweets in a video that you can't even name reasons what's wrong. That's what pissed me off the most about this, right? So he would have an issue with Linlin's video, and he'd be like, you gave your credibility to this video, right? But whenever it would be asked, okay, what's the issue with the video? He would never give an issue.
Yeah.
He would never be able to provide an example what was wrong with it. So it's like, okay, you could not use the argument that you put your credibility into it if you could not say why it was wrong. Credibility was to begin with. So he took that as a slight, which is actually kind of interesting because one, the Hippleton, he just admits it's a slight and not a backstab. But to me, he said that it was a attack. It was like throwing the first stone. So he made that whole video on doodle tones, and it's like, dude, you're so gay, like unironically.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's spineless. He changes his opinions and lies a lot, and I think he just wants to he'll say what he thinks you want to hear. And I've actually heard like a theory before. Like it's that thing you brought up, Amos, right? The whole Kentucky Fried Chicken thing.
Yeah.
There's actually a theory that he says stuff like that, right? In order for you to focus more on that than anything actual genuine he says.
I think people are giving him too much credit.
Yeah, I think,
Which I think it's a funny thing.
Way too much credit.
I think it's an interesting theory, though. I think it's an interesting theory. It's funny.
True, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I really don't think Jar is smart enough to think about that.
I think Jar wants to do something bad.
That's what he wants you to think. That's just what he wants you to think. He's playing the. But in terms, he's actually a genius, and you guys have just not seen it yet.
In terms,
but I actually I don't know. Apparently there's like some mixed takes. Some people think he's not coming back to commentary after this, and it's like, I'm gonna be so real. If you're in a call with Lio Convoy by saying for 10 years straight, revenge is the only thing keeping me going, I just don't see you not being in the drama community after this. Like I know like the whole thing, like you don't never really need the internet.
I mean, this guy literally quit drama, made normal shit, and then came back to drama. Like there's just no way. I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's like all these artists that are leaking calls with Jar from like a couple of years ago, right? They're like thinking Jar's not going to come back, so it's safe to leak it now, dude. He is. I don't know if like that's how you want to play it, dude. He's 100% going to come back. I feel it, dude. I can feel it in my bones. Like I ace spaces are tinkling. Like it's okay, amazing.
That is like the.
You are literally a neo-Nazi for that joke.
You made me uncomfortable when you said that,
dude. But you know what? Let's end it off on the concluding topic: the Hippleton interviews. Now, Amos, what do you think of the Hippleton interviews with Jar?
I think some of them are good. Obviously, I don't know if this guy needed 15 interviews with Jar. I feel like that's pretty excessive.
Yeah, he had like quite a bit. You see, I think what is insane to me is because like I feel like the first one you can make the argument that one was an actual interview. But as I've been like sweeping through these calls, unironically, I think even Ant could vouch a little bit. Like some of them just feels like bro talking to bros.
I mean, that's how it came up to me, and like that's what it was worded as. Like, because like I mean, I knew about this gay op that was happening like for a while when it was happening. I got to hear some. So
yeah, and it's really weird because I think Hippleton kept trying to say Jesus that it wasn't a gay op and that he was just trying to get info on
which
him.
Is so stupid because he's admitted to like we literally called it a gay op when those calls were getting recorded every time because that's what it was. Like the first one, maybe you could argue the first one, obviously maybe not, but like the others were. Which obviously I don't really care about gay ops. I'm not going to get like morally upset about it because obviously I participated in them. But
smoked,
not bad.
Yeah,
smoked.
Yeah, but nice. Like
dogged seed.
Can't wait to put my logo on that one.
But back in a crowd.
Unironically, right? like even in the fourth call, because like I don't think this call is ever getting leaked. Again, I think Ant might be able to vouch for me because I think he saw me. But it's like at the end of it, Jar's like saying, "Thank you, Hippleton, for being such a good friend." And then Hippleton, "Yeah, anytime." I just talk.
Dude.
Yeah, he literally said it. Yeah.
It's like
That's what I mean when he's like, when he was like trying to convince people that he wasn't trying to be friendly. He was just having like regular conversations. Like, dude, like I swear I remember you saying that you were friends with him, or like being friends, or like he said that you were just being friends.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I still have to like sweep through more of them. I've only gotten through like 5 of them, which some of them are great to go through because it's like 10 minutes, but some of them are fucking hour. And it's like, dude, I really just have to pick a time to do that. It's like insane to do. But the 5th call should be leaking soon, dude, because I got permission to drop that one. And that one's over an hour long.
Or no?
I think what I find there's a little bit of funny moments and some interesting takes that Jar gives, and like his genuine raw thoughts. All right, like on situations that I won't leak till it's public, but just keep your eyes, keep your eyes peeled. But yeah. Other than that, though, I feel like maybe more Hippleton calls will come out once I review them and just ask if I feel like it's important. Because it's like, I don't know, I've talked to some people, like, some of these calls are just fucking, dude.
They're
like,
nothing. Some of them are nothing.
In a live stream sense, right? Like, I get, like, if someone just wants to go to be like, I went through the Hippleton archives. But it's like at the same time, dude, some of the calls
archives.
I know. But some of them are literally just like just them talking. Like I think like the third one was like about like Jane Animations. It was like a 7-minute call and it was a Jane Animations thing. And it's like they're just talking, Jar's freaking out and like, fucking Hippleton's calming him down, being like, hey, just look through your DMs, man. Just come back to me and we'll talk about this, all right? And it's like, okay, dude. All right, buddy. But oh yeah, in the second call, I will say, because this one is public, he unironically pats him on the back because the timeline of the second call, right? Lio just had the confrontation call with Jar, and Jar's coming in there being like, dude, I feel like I'm just such a bad person. Like, I've done so many bad things. Since like, well, I don't think a couple flaws makes you a bad guy, Obviously, you made some mistakes, but I don't think you're a bad person.
Crazy word coming from Hippleton.
It's like, dude, yeah, it's like no wonder. Like, it makes so much sense to me now because anytime I'd ask, like back then, like, okay, drop the calls. It's like I don't want any more Hippleton Pack Watch content, and I'm like, why do you? Was there something in there that they would like laugh at you for? And he said, well, I mean, I just eat, and I don't think there's anything crazy. And I'm like, okay, and I watched it. I'm like, dude, you were literally this guy's best buddy. Yeah, they would have shat on you so hard if you dropped these.
I mean, dude, obviously we're coming to a close, but I will say, moral of the story, don't get too involved. All these people suck. I don't think there's even a good person in the story.
Except for me and Ant.
Yeah, whatever.
We're the only good guys.
Amos is bad and evil and despicable.
Yeah. Amos was too lazy to be involved in this story, guys. I'm sorry. He came in at the credits. Yeah.
But I think that brings us to the close of the podcast. I think we got through everything.
Yeah, man. I thank you guys for coming out to Abstract. I've been A-Space, and this has also been like given Ants and Amos. You guys can say your little things.
Yeah.
Just say bye.
Subscribe to Amazing Documentaries. Me and Ace have a collab soon. We're dropping it here.
Ooh, special.
Oh boy.
Birdie headpiece coming soon. It'll be the best it's ever been made.
You know what? I'll do a little bit more shilling. I'll do a little bit more shilling. Given Ant and I did a collab, you should check out the router video we went over. Yeah, you should go watch it. And you know what? With that, thank you all coming for Abstract, and we'll catch you in the next one, dude.
Subscribe to Give It Ant.
See ya.
Bye.